Anyway, here we have a goddamn part. And just to give you an idea of the scale, this is 134 millimeters, so it's really about 5 inches as measured. Now, you can look at the studies, and they've already got a partial study set up, and it has a fixture there, another fixture there. It does have material applied to the parts, alloy steel there. Now, let's see. But they're going to model, large displacement. It's a small displacement, could actually cause errors, but I guess they're going to demonstrate that. To begin with, if you look at study properties, they've got got it set up as a compute free body forces, but they don't have it set up as a large displacement. So, okay, we're going to put a new fixed geometry. I don't know if you noticed that, but you can also do sliders and other types of fixtures as well. They don't have to be fixed necessarily. Advanced. On flat faces. On flat faces. That's what we're gonna select. Normal to face. Normal to face. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to apparently be moving this 20 millimeters this direction, so I'm not really sure why, again, because I don't even know what the fucking function of this. I just know they call this like slider, or what are these, slider, and so suggesting that it slides, but let's see. Normal to face. Normal to face, that's the one we're going to go with. And 20 millimeters, I'm sure this is going to be a part of some equation. God damn it. Okay. Just because I pressed scrolled the scroll wheel. 20 in the value box and click OK. But remember, I think we're still dealing with a small displacement model, so but you can see the various actions here in this little graphic. So interesting. You can see down here, looks like you can edit the size of the vectors and everything. I guess we don't need to reverse the direction. Okay. Well, I'd like to reverse the side. I wish we could just make them longer instead of fatter, but anyway, yeah, that's pointed in the right direction. Jesus, yeah, I don't want them that fat. But, that's the locker, and this is the slider, so apparently that's supposed to slide. We gotta define contact friction between these two surfaces. I guess I could go ahead and hide some of these straight, so that is getting kind of annoying. Let's tied that one. Yeah, we got to put friction on these two surfaces. Well, have you note that all the studies we've been studying so far, are just really dealing with single faces. So, meaning that like this was just a single face as opposed to like 2 or 3 facets of a face. So same with this. This is just a single face. That's just a single surface. These are two single face surfaces. This isn't a surface; it's solid, but I mean these are just two, single faces of a surface of a solid. So I don't know what happens if you split these, like in half or something. How would that contact friction play out? Would there be a hiccup in it? Okay, we're going to make some contact sets here. Okay, now we're going to manually add them, and it's to be set to no penetration as opposed to bonded, allow penetration, shrink fit, etc. I don't know what these do, but sure we'll find out. Okay. Now faces or edges are set 1. This is supposed to be set 1 right here. Okay, and this is supposed to be set 2. I mean, I guess it can deal with sets of faces. That's good. Okay, select friction. And accept the default coefficient, and then nose to surface. Didn't say select that, so alright. Now if you look at this, you can see there are other types of contacts you can make, so it's intriguing. But there's our contact set. Alright. Okay, now of course we're going to go set up our mesh, and this is getting pretty, let's see, create mesh. Mesh parameters, that's all by default. That's 4 points. Oh wow, it's actually at this set right. Huh. Well, that's cool. Anyway. Alright. Running the analysis. Okay, I should actually have a problem with it. Because, or something, because it's, probably going to take a while. I don't know what this more means. As long as it's been up. Degrees of freedom. Wow, 39,000. Number of nodes. Okay, excessive displacements were calculated in this model. If your system is properly restrained, consider using a large displacement option. Okay, so the message appears. And it offers you choice to return the analysis, rerun the analysis, so click no. Okay, so it was supposed to actually throw an error like that. Okay, so, it still actually did produce kind of a result, and you can see a displacement, I guess, take place here. See if there's an animation associated with it. Okay, yeah, so it was displacing at, I guess, 20 millimeters. Remember, the parts are only like 130 millimeters. So, I mean, it's sort of working right, but, it's not keeping in contact. But you can see the spring force is being applied. I mean, it's sort of doing its job. That's what's interesting. So, I'm looking, it's exaggerated, so, okay, options set units, PSI, always are. Okay, it's set to true scale actually, so I don't know why they wanted to set it to user defined. Let's see it plot with main view orientation. Under property. Okay. Oh, okay. Here, I'll let you read what I'm reading. Okay. So it is pretty interesting result still, nonetheless. Boy, this animation slowed way down when I started this recorder. It was going a lot faster before. Let's see, this kind of thing, you know, we'll just have to see how this plays out, but this kind of thing I look at as kind of cool because, you know, I could, you know, try to model a, you know, like a plastic, you know, snap, you know, going past a ridge, you know, to see if it works ostensibly. You know, but I could see what the maximum forces are, and if it exceeds the, you know, if it's going to cause any kind of fatigue or anything, you know, and have it break, the snap break off. Okay, but we're, let's see, properties. Okay, we're going to go ahead and select large displacement now, and then rerun the study. Now, I'll show you what, you know, to expect here. So, I don't know what happened to the dialog box. Okay, here it is. I said this will take a while, you know, in that thing you just saw. Yeah, I think I get what's going on now. You see, this is the original position right here, this thing. And they're moving it from a point of, I guess, least stress to maximum stress. So you can see how it goes. But actually, this is supposed to continue sliding until this actually closes on it. But they're not modeling that because we're just looking at the maximum stress applied. But later I may go try to do a new study or whatever and see if I can see the full action of the thing. Unless this takes an error. Okay. Took about 6 minutes or so to run it. It didn't stop, so I didn't have to restart it or anything. Alright, so we can really see the friction there. Pretty cool. Let's see what's going on. If I could slow the damn thing down and step through it. Frames 5. Yeah. What's that mean? Forward only. Back and forth. Okay, this allows you to slow it down and check it out more closely. It's actually going into each other. There's supposed to be no penetration. Huh. Yeah, it probably doesn't matter because, I mean, again, that's what we're trying to do is to analyze it at a point of maximum deflection. But, you know, because it's not like I can step through the animation and analyze it at various points. I mean, I can't seem to do that. So I can't choose a different point in the animation. I mean, it's still basically a static study, I think, in the sense that it's fixed. You know, it's really only valid for one point. So I'd have to go like set it to various other points and run different studies on it, you know, to actually find out where the forces are at other points if I wanted to study it. So I guess the animation, you know, is just meant to be a simulation of the, you know, an approximation of it. You know, because it's certainly not, you know, it's just sliding linearly. It's not sliding with curvature. So, you know, you're not really seeing how the deflection is actually carried out. Okay, I just went and hit show mesh. List results force. Contact friction force. Use SI. And for that, just select this. Click update. Okay. So, then we got these properties over here, and listing here. 146 newtons on the Y, and on the Z it's a very, very small amount. So, hey, it's not in scientific notation, that's good. Okay, select friction force, contact friction force, select normal, and force type. Oh, god damn it. Okay, normal, that's for the first study, that's what we're looking at. Okay, and now let's select friction and force type. Okay, so it's giving you the various components of the force, including the total force resultant. Which is approximately 7.3 newtons. So now the total force, you know, it's 141 newtons resultant. You can see the various axes the components are acting in. So you can see the principal vector up here, I suppose. Okay, so you can see that when it comes to friction, you know, the principal component's that way. You know, that's where the largest force is. That's in the x-axis, so, you know, about 7 newtons. But then there is a little bit of an upward force there. And the y, you know, about 0.7 newtons. So, and then just the face of forces that's normal, the surface is 146 newtons. Opening up, because this is maybe the action force, minus 18 newtons, you know, in the x. So, you know, that's our action force, and I guess the reaction would be, if it's plotted, you know, would be down there, but it would have a total net, you know, 11 newtons of reaction, but then an upward force of 147 newtons. So, and this bar is about, I think, 5 millimeters or something thick. I don't know. So, you know, that's why the forces are so large, because, you know, these aren't like little spring-loaded contacts or anything. This has actually got quite a bit of force involved in it. You know, but that's why, because like I said, these were pretty thick. But now we can go look at reaction force. Okay, and clear that and select this. And this should be, you know, the opposite, basically. You know, what we had before, so that is about right, but just, you know, the sign's different. So again, we can see the, you know, force vectors here. So, you know, so that's, you know, basically a reaction, so it's resisting it, and, you know, acting the opposite direction of the other vectors. So anyway, yeah, I went ahead and converted it to the English system. It's in foot-pounds, so I don't really understand foot-pounds. I mean, I actually understand forces more in terms of the, you know, newtons and the SI. You know, I understand foot-pounds in terms of torque, but I don't really understand it in terms of a force per se. So, you know, force equals mass times acceleration. So I really don't quite get it. I'll have to look that up one of these days. I don't like the, you know, the American system for a lot of stuff like slugs and all that crap you got to deal with. I mean, it sounds like something from the 1800s. You know, I do prefer the metric system, and, you know, when it comes to forces and stuff like that for the most part. I just kind of hate it when it comes to velocities and so forth. It's really my pet peeve, because I'm still so much more used to, you know, velocities and measurement. You know, I'm still so used to the English system when it comes, or the American system when it comes to that sort of thing. You can see its displacement is about 20 millimeters, so it still, you know, is not that terribly accurate, you know, in its simulation, its animation, I mean.